Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunless Skies. We are currently in Langley Hall. Oh, I remember, because I need to take this bombazine to the House of Rod and Chains, which is our place of continuance for the Truth storyline. So, let's see if we can make our way up there. What's our terror looking like? Oof, pretty bad. Is there a way I can lower my terror here? I actually don't know. Let's go to the jetty and see if there's something we can do here. A cottage the size of a cathedral. Mellow candlelight shines through its frosted windows like spilt treacle. Here, the vanished Lord Langley founded a home, away from home. A London for the exiled, the lost, and the lovelorn. Distance is suspended inside. No one has ever claimed to have charted the entirety of the limitless hall. Kind of reminds me of Blue Prince now, which is a series that it's a game that I have been streaming. Let's return. The post officer is here to greet you again. I'm pleased you're back. Yes, I know it's been a while. Is there something I can do here that will lower my terror? I will compile a port report while I'm here. No. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything here for me to lower my terror. This could cause some problems. How far away? Piranesi. I don't think there's anything in Piranesi we can do to lower our terror. Very far away to get to the House of Rod and Chains. I could try to go back to Pan, but I don't think there's any... I think not enough time has passed. It's fine. Maybe we'll just increase our terror slightly. I'm sure it'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Now, we definitely have what we need, right? Yes, bombazine for the House of Rod and Chains. We need 3. We have 3. We have enough fuel and supplies. I suppose you're selling anything super cheap in the bargains here, are you? Caged catchers? Yeah, too much trouble. They usually escape. Bloody things. Alright. Let's head off. And hope that it all works out. The privy. I don't know if I've had the terror thing. I suppose the wreck of the Berrenger? Wait, what? It looks like I've been there before, but I have no memory of this. If I could find like a normal wreck to be able to mourn the dead, that would be pretty cool. Wreck of the Berrenger. Unless that's the Tomb Colony train, but isn't that in the Reach? What the hell is the Berrenger? I just want to look at it, see if it suddenly sparks a memory. A vast wreck, larger than any other locomotive you've seen. Armour rattles in the wind. An Albion flag flies, tattered almost beyond recognition. The hull is cracked like an egg, a charred and tangled engine exposed to the air. The Berrenger, reads the nameplate, though some wag has appended a question mark. As you approach, you see figures scrambling behind the guardrails. Revolutionary slogans graffitied across every rusted surface. The Berrenger is still very much occupied. Let's board? A dozen figures in heavy coats hang from the side of the wreck, waving joyously as your engine docks. You step into the Berrenger's halls, to a swelling crowd and a babble of cheery greetings. Everyone is wearing a mask. The crowd parts. A woman glides to your side. Her scarlet leather jacket gleams with buckles and vestigial straps. Her face is hidden behind a mask in the shape of a screeching bat's face. "Oh, glad to have you aboard," says the unassailable founder, shaking your hand. The unassailable founder's bat mask is impressive. She gestures to a wall of masks behind her. can speak to the unassailable founder. Before you don a mask, you have questions. Who is she? How did the Berrenger end up here? Okay, so I can ask this because I don't have any of the things. Let's ask. I have no memory of this at all. Really embarrassing if I did this earlier in the series and I just don't remember. How did a London dreadnought end up wrecked in Eleutheria, crowded with devotees of the liberation of night? The founder waves a gloved finger disapprovingly. I can't go prattling my secrets to just anyone, can I? Join our community, put your trust in us, and I'll extend some trust in return. That's fair. Okay, we have a couple of options. Quite a few, actually. We can choose the mask of the aspirant, a sculpted silver rose, blank, eyeless, mouthless. The aspirant listens, says the founder, and blossoms. I'll let us listen to lectures. The mask of the supplicant. The supplicant's job is to talk, says the founder, fastening the mask of a hideously toothed anglerfish over your face, and perhaps entice. Okay, we can deliver lectures with that one. The mask of the sibilant. A woman's face wreathed in glorious flames. The sibilant learns through experimentation, says the founder, putting aside concern for the safety of others or themselves. Or we can choose the mask of the recalcitrant, a snarling face halfway between bulldog and gargoyle. A difficult role, cautions the founder, a squabbler, recommended for those who've spent time as an aspirant. This mask gives opportunities to debate. Right, I guess I'm going to start with aspirant and see what happens. A sculpted silver rose. As the mask slips over your face, you realise that it is ingeniously designed that you can see perfectly between the folds of the silver petals. The aspirant's role is to absorb, says the founder. Go to the library and read a book, or go to the forum and enjoy yourself. Stay quiet. Grow. The Berrenger's rusting innards have been hollowed. The walls and floors of a dozen interlocking corridors have been methodically stripped away, carving a vast, hive-like atrium draped with ladders and criss-crossed with rope bridges. Anarchists bustle back and forth between a circle of iron doors below. The largest are labelled laboratories, forum, and hall of debate. Your fellow aspirants are, by far, the most common among the masked figures. Dozens of silver-faced anarchists mill back and forth between the libraries and the forum, silent except for the occasional, polite cough. Okay. So we can head to the forum. A stream of aspirants, supplicants, and recalcitrants are barreling through the double doors. The forum greets you with a cacophony of competing voices and the acrid stench of gunpowder. This was once the Dreadnought's vast storage room, and now munitions crates have been stacked and shoved together to create a semicircle of stages. Hopefully, no one lights a cigarette. The stages are occupied by supplicants, voices raised. Well, we're not going to tell a story because that's wrong. You're wearing the wrong mask. Let's not do that. Let's attend a lecture. You flit between supplicants. One is tripping over his words, another reaching her conclusion. Finally, you find a speaker whose words are intriguing. The first lecture to entice you is that given by a diminutive old woman, speaking in a dry whisper to only 3 aspirants. But you catch the phrase, coils of shattering ice, 1,000 feet high. The other lecture you come across is being delivered by a lithe, confident figure of indeterminate gender. They are expounding on their topic at such length that you have trouble deciphering what they're talking about. Finally, you identify the topic. A certain Mr. Barleycorn. Okay, so we have two options. We can listen to the old woman's lecture. What could she be talking about? This will earn you respect of the founder. You'll gain terror and an Eleutherian mystery. Or we can listen to the lecture on Mr. Barleycorn. You'll earn respect of the founder, and you'll gain a sky story and an Eleutherian mystery. I don't want to risk increasing my terror, so let's go with the Mr. Barleycorn. The Halves' most eminent, most enigmatic servant, declares the supplicant, striding down the stage. We all know that it is in the Liberation's best interests to keep him on side, and he is at least more scrutable than his master. So, what can we do? Send him baskets of fruit? A backgammon set? The supplicant reaches the end of the stage, pirouettes. No, Mr. Barleycorn is fond of stories. He is a collector of information, and he is a lover of music. Bring him stories, secrets and songs that you may win his favour. Perhaps he might even relay your words to the halved. Interesting. Can I go back to the forum? No. I could try telling a story, but I think I'll just get told off, so I'm not gonna do that. We can change our mask. The founder lingers in the Berrenger's central atrium, hands in the pockets of her leather jacket, chatting to everyone who passes. She combines an encyclopedic knowledge of everyone's names and habits with the uncanny ability to recognize them despite their mask. Questions? Complaints? She asks, turning to you. Or simply here to take a new role? Ask why her mask is different from the others. The face of the bat is distinctive. You've not seen another during your time aboard the Berrenger. The founder laughs. My father was a diplomat for London. In my formative years, we were stationed on an island called Visage, far out to sea. The locals' lives revolved around the mask they wore. We chose our faces for ourselves. I was keen to implement something similar here. She adjusts her bat mask. This represented the worst of outsiders, the exile who brought nothing but misfortune and death. After I turned traitor and left the Admiralty, it seemed an appropriate statement. We spent a lot of time in Visage in our Sunless Seas playthrough. I distinctly remember letting off a flare in the super dark, super secret meeting. Okay, let's switch to the mask of the supplicant, whose job it is to talk. The miniature lantern dangles from your new mask, swinging back and forth between your eyes. The supplicant gives speeches in the forum, says the founder. Thanks to the mask, a person's reputation, or lack thereof, doesn't matter here. Just stand and talk if you're saying something worthwhile. Perhaps you'll attract an audience. Okay, let's head back to the forum. And this time, we have a few options. We can deliver a lecture on the extinguishments. Out in the furious emptiness, there are places that have never known light or heat. This will earn the respect of the founder. Need uses 3 Eleutherian mysteries. Good God. We can tell a story from our travels. It's not precisely a lecture. As a supplicant, you can speak about whatever you wish. The right audience will find you. It'll cost me a sky story. Let's... Oh, what's this? Deliver a lecture on the place behind glass. The results of your mirror research are sure to attract an audience. I have never done that. I'm assuming that's going to be here in the laboratories, maybe? Let's just go big. Let's go straight in with the extinguishments. Your approach is academic. Your tone, matter of fact. But the aspirants listen as though to a ghost story. There are places of darkness in Eleutheria, you tell them. A darkness so total it devours even the memory of light. Your audience whispers and swells. What does such emptiness conceal? Unlit trains that plunged into the darkness, hoping to commit crimes beyond the sight of any god. Disgraced servitors, hiding for millennia from otherwise omniscient masters. At the end of your lecture, your audience is too subdued to ask questions. The spectres of an extinguishment seems to hang in the air above you. Fascinating and repellent. In equal measure, our terror has fallen. Not by much, but I'll take it. We've earned the respect of the unassailable founder for your excellent lecture. Perhaps now she will tell you more about herself. Okay, let's leave the forum. We can go back and speak to the unassailable founder. Ask how the Berrenger ended up in Eleutheria. It's clearly a huge and impressive locomotive of Albion origin. Why is it stranded in Eleutheria and stuffed with anarchists? The Berrenger, the dreadnought developed in secret to guard against star madness, says the founder. The Berrenger was a dreadnought developed in secret to guard against star madness, says the founder. On its maiden voyage, I stole it. It was easy enough. I was the admiral placed in charge of the bloody thing, he snorts. While we patrolled a quiet corner of Albion, I convinced my crew of the merits of the liberation. After a mostly bloodless mutiny, we embarked on a pilgrimage to Eleutheria. We planned to pledge ourselves to the service of the halved. Her mouth tightens. It didn't work out. Oh no. Okay. So let's swap to the mask of the Sissilant. A woman's face wreathed in glorious flame. The flames on the mask are orange-yellow tissue, which rustles as you move your head. The Sissilant's purpose is to visit the laboratories and take part in the experiments, says the founder, clapping you on the back. Good luck. Last time I went to the laboratories, I lost a finger. Oh, God. I like my fingers. A crude orange mask symbol has been painted above the door. Next to it, someone has scrawled, Danger. Science occurs within. What could possibly go wrong? The Liberation have kept most of the Berrenger's laboratories intact. Every functioning laboratory has a sign-up sheet tacked to its door, begging for volunteers. Sissilants flit back and forth carrying clipboards, calipers, vapour-spewing flasks. There is no shortage of work to be done. A few brave enough to do it. Oh no. So we can take part in an experiment? As a guinea pig. You approach a laboratory and begin to write your name on the sign-up sheet. Before you reach the third letter, you're yanked inside. We can conduct our own experiment, recruiting Sissilants as volunteers. It is a chance to push the boundaries of knowledge without risking your own crew. Or we can conduct our own experiment, recruiting volunteers from your own crew. Surely some brave souls amongst your crew will leap at the prospect of risking their lives for science. Let's just take part in an experiment as a guinea pig. 74%. Let's hope we don't fail. Nice. Yeah, drink this. It's perfectly safe. A Sissillant presses a fizzing tube into your hands and immediately runs for cover. You examine the liquid. The smell alone could strip the skin from a cat. Nevertheless, you drink. How odd, says the Sissillant after a lengthy pause. I thought. Colours unfold from his open mouth like a kaleidoscopic chrysanthemum. For the next few days, you wander in a landscape of spirals and fireworks. When you recover, you find yourself in bed, sweat-soaked, your ears still ringing. Oh no. By spearheading a successful experiment, you have shown the founder your worth as a Sissilant. Perhaps now she will tell you more about herself. Okay. Let's ask about the mark on her neck. The founder's hand moves automatically to cover it up. For a moment, you could have sworn it was an eye nestled between neck and collarbone. Before we reached the wilderness, I was an admiral in London's fleet. While patrolling the Untersee, we came across something under the water. A scar, or an eye, or something. I dived to investigate. I still don't understand what happened down there, but I met something far greater than myself, and I came back with this. He brushes the eye on her neck with a fingertip. Years later, in the wilderness, I took charge of London's greatest dreadnought, still in early experimental stages. That's when the eye opened. At that moment, I knew deep in my bones that I had to seek out Eleutheria. Ooh, is that the lady underwater? I can't remember her name. She's obsessed with sevens. Okay, the final mask we have to look at here is the Mask of the Recalcitrant. A bulldog and a gargoyle. The mask is oddly uncomfortable, digging into your skin, cutting off the blood to your ears. You peer out through a wall of gruesome fangs. Go to the forum or the debating halls and raise hell, says the founder. Ask impertinent questions, hit close to home. The mask allows you to speak loudly and truthfully without losing friends. Do we want to go to the forum or the hall of debate? Let's go to the forum first and see what's there. Okay, nothing overly important there. I guess we have to go to the hall of debate. I didn't read that, whoops. Recalcitrants barge in like ants invading a rival nest. Some wit has painted over the door. Abandon the slippery slope, all ye who enter here. The Hall of Debate was once the Dreadnought's gun deck. A row of gargantuan cannons still point out at an empty sky. Recalcitrants swarm under the artillery, shouting, stamping, roaring. The main debates take place on a raised platform. Would-be rhetoricians take centre stage, declare their argument, and await challenges. 3 recalcitrants state their position. Which will you dispute? Oh, well, it's slightly worrying. Okay, no, I was going to say, it's slightly worrying that the option that gives us respect of the founder is a hearts check. The liberation of Night is justified. An uncontroversial position, at least aboard the Berrenger. If you challenge this, the audience won't be on your side. The Berrenger is a waste of time and should be destroyed. A recalcitrant rolls forward on his wheelchair and states his position cheerfully, despite the roars of outrage. The audience will be on your side. Morality is a social construct that collapses without the fear of punishment. The recalcitrant clearly hopes to deal only in abstract philosophical matters. The audience won't have a personal stake in the outcome. A 77% chance with our mirrors. Well, let's go with that one. It's our highest chance of success. Hopefully we don't fail. Oh no. You do your best, but the recalcitrant on the podium refuses to budge an inch. Just when you think you've found a flaw in her argument, she moves on to something else, leaving the point unaddressed. Soon your arguments are going in circles. The surrounding recalcitrants grow restless. Give someone else a turn to talk, one of them shouts. Okay, I'll bite down. To a chorus of jeers and laughter, you admit that your arguments were flawed, and perhaps you should go away and reconsider your position. As you step away, another recalcitrant fills your place and picks up where you left off. By changing someone else's mind or changing your own, you have shown the founder that you make a respectable recalcitrant. Perhaps now she will tell you more about herself. Oh, so we still got the thing even though we failed. Interesting. Let's ask how she recognizes everyone, despite their masks. Every mask is just one among hundreds. I grew up on Visage, says the founder. I don't need a face. I can hear your voice, see the curve of your back, the way you walk. I can recognize a member of this community just by the pattern of acne on the back of their neck. When I was first establishing the community here, I quickly learned that true anonymity can turn people into monsters. She raises her hand in cheery greeting as an aspirant wanders past. Hello, Ronald. You see, the fact that I know who they are keeps the community honest. It's good to remind them occasionally. Okay, we're a well-established part of the community aboard the Berrenger now. And you've heard rumours. What is the founder hiding? Ooh. Oh my god, I got an achievement! You know how long it's been since I got an achievement in Sunless Skies? I guess that's proof that I've never done this before. I thought it didn't seem familiar. The founder beckons. You follow her to the Berrenger's charred engine room. Freezing winds swirl through the crack in the hull. After I stole this dreadnought from the Empire, I went to the Halved to pledge my allegiance. He pauses. But the Halved would not accept me. I was devastated. I turned the Berrenger into a hub of discussion, hoping that one day we would come to a consensus that could guide me. This is no wreck. He rubs at the charred boiler with a gloved finger, smudging black dust away to reveal gleaming iron beneath. That's all an illusion. The hull can be fixed in a day. The rust was applied by paintbrush. The Berrenger is ready for war as soon as I decide war is more important than debate. Oh wow. We got a Crimson Promise and 3 Savage Secrets. We've learned that there's a dreadnought just chilling out here, huh? I guess that means we're done here, but wow. I guess we're going to have to leave the Berrenger. You hook your mask at the door on the way out. Your crew express a measure of relief at leaving behind the Berrenger's bauble, its crowds, its ceaseless bustle, not to mention that riotous smell of rust and sweat and gunpowder. As the unremittent darkness swallows your train again, the crew's relief turns to dismay. Maybe the Berrenger wasn't so bad, they say. Maybe you could turn around. Okay, well, that used up the entire episode, so we're going to go back to Langley Hall. That was very interesting, though. I enjoyed that a lot. I am amazed I'd never done that before. It's a shame we can't recruit it to our side. Not that I know which side I'm actually fighting on. I guess the professor here is part of the Liberation of Night. He is a particularly rebellious individual, to say the least. And is part of the revolutionaries. Alright, well, let's dock up at Langley Hall here, and I guess we'll carry on with going to the Hall of Rotten Chains in the next episode. I apologise. I, yet again, didn't follow through with the plan of the episode. It seems to be my favourite way to play. That's a building. It's fine. We lost a little bit of terror. At least, I guess. Okay. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel and the coffee supporters. It really does mean the world to me. And as always, see you next time.